First, we're going to prepare the induction box cowl. There are two halves. If you notice, there's two holes there and two pins. We're just going to dry fit those together. As you can see, there's a slight gap on the top. And you can see where it joins together, where we need to actually clean up. So I'm gonna clean up this area here, some there, hopefully getting rid of these ejection marks where you can feel it's slightly raised is why there's a slight gap at the top. So we just need to clean along the edges there before we bond together. Right, that's the first one cleaned up, and I'll do exactly the same for the opposite side. Okay, we've done two sides of the cowl. We also need to clean up there's two holes on each side of these. They're for the vortex generators to fit in. So they fit in there like that. So what I need to do is you glue them from the rear. So what I need to do is just clean up around the holes there, clean up the pins. Then when we'll put this in and then we'll just put a little bit of adhesive at the rear to hold them in place on both sides. Okay, I've put a bit of glue on the back, so I'm just checking that they are level before the glue goes off. So that is one side done, and I'll do the same for the other. Now that the vortex generators of the glue has gone off, I'm just going to glue these two halves together. There's two holes there and two pins. We've scraped off the bits of the paint for where the adhesive will go. And so I'm gonna put some adhesive in the center, and then I'm just gonna put some masking tape to hold it together while the adhesive goes off. Right, and then we'll locate these together. That. Squeezing together. Just checking the alignment. Now I've let this dry for a few hours. We're gonna now fit the wing. The wing goes into this location here. So if you notice that there's a little tab there that goes in that cutout, and then this tab then fits into the hole there. So we just go like that. So I need to scrape off the paint on this bit here and a little bit on there, then we'll glue this into position. Right, I've just put some cyano on it. Just going to pop the tab in there, and then we just need to look down and just make sure that it's level. So I'm just going to put that on the table. I'm just going to have a look horizontally. Right, that's been aligned. So with this, I've just put it on the bench, checked it at both sides. So it is actually parallel with this part here. So I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just going to set this aside to for the adhesive to go off. Next, we're going to be fitting the lower engine cowls. They fit into this position here along the skirt. So that goes into there. and then we need to bend it into position like that. So, but first I need to just take a little bit off here where it fits over this wishbone here. So I'll do the same on both sides. We've already scraped it up when we prepped this in a previous issue. Then I'll be running some adhesive along here and sticking it in place, but after we clean these up first. Okay, that side's in. I'm just going to let that dry for a couple of hours, and then I'll proceed and do the other side. Next, we take the flip-up support. This is the right-hand one. That will fit into this position here. So there's 2 pins. I'm just going to clean up that little bit there. And then that will stick there with ABS adhesive. So I'm going to put once I've cleaned that up, I'm going to put a bit of glue there, bit of glue on that, and then we'll get the cowl that will fit across there. I'm just going to temporarily fit it, and this will glue there eventually. So what I'm going to do is just glue that, put that into that position, put this on top temporarily until this goes off, and this will be then glued in the correct position. So I'm going to take some ABS cement. I'm going to put that on there. Then stick the 2 pins into the 2 holes and just hold that in that position. And then I'm just going to put this on temporarily. So there's some holes there and the pins. So I'm just going to locate, make sure that it's in the correct position. And I'm just going to turn it over on its side. And I'm just going to pop up the support. There we are, and it's just fallen in. I don't know if you can see that, into that position there. So I'm just going to keep that there while the adhesive goes off in that location. So I'm just going to keep that there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape just to hold that position until that adhesive goes off. So if I just get a bit of tape. There. So you can see from this one is that this piece will fit into there. So I'm just going to put some ABS adhesive on this side as well. I'm going to just glue that in there. Before the glue goes off, I'm just going to position this and then let the glue dry overnight. Right, this has been dried overnight, so I'm just going to remove some of the masking tape just to check. So remove that. So that is bonded solidly. So now we're just going to put some general glue across there onto this point here and also on there, and then we'll put this back on permanently. I'm just going to use some cyano on this point, so I'm just going to put a bit of glue on that and a bit on this, like that, and then some across there. So I'm just going to line up the holes with the pins on there. So let me Right, so that is on there. So I'm just going to put this tape back just to hold it in position, and then we'll do the same for the other side. So if I just pull back the tape, just get a bit of tape brick bit off ready. So I'm going to do the same there, some super glue across there, and onto there. So I've run some glue across the edge there. Just going to put some on that, and then some on here, just running it on the inside at the top so it doesn't spill over to the edge. So you can see the holes there and the pins. So I'm just going to turn that around, and I'm going to locate the front hole onto the pin. That's gone on, and then the other ones, I'm just going to tip it up on its side just to make sure that it's located correctly. That's located there. So I'm just going to bring the tape back up just to hold it into position. There. This piece which I broke off earlier on, let's put there. Let's hold that in. So just gonna double check that everything is in the correct place. So this upright here is glued into the recess on that. It's glued correctly on the edge, and it's fine there. Same on that side. It's glued in the recess and on the edge. And I'm just going to look down the rear, just make sure that the spacing on these two are from the wishbone are identical. So that looks fine, because then we have a piece then that we did earlier that goes over there, and then the wing piece then connects into your just gonna have a look, see how that looks relative to the, yeah, it looks fine, it looks straight. Just checking the gap, this straight edge across the edge there, that it's not sort of like that or like that, so everything looks straight. So I'm going to set this aside now to dry overnight. So that is the end of this issue.